She said 2 words.
What 2 words? What were they? What did she say?
Bad wolf. Are you afraid of the big bad wolf, Doctor?
Allons-y, allons-y, everybody, and welcome to the Bat Wolf broadcast. I am Tony, and with me always is
D.
And today we are back talking about the best show in science fiction out there, Doctor Who.
That is unfortunately canceled.
But we're back talking about the Interstellar Song Contest. That is episode number 6 of
Number 6.
this latest series 15, series 2, again, whatever you guys want to call it. I don't care. This is series 446 for all I care. So we're back. We are with the Doctor.
It is also the last episode before May 24.
Yes, this is our pre-finale episode. I mean, we do have 2 more episodes coming
The second
in,
to
but
last episode. But
it's a 2-parter finale, and we've known this since the start of the show. Very similar to Legend
they
of
usually
Ruby
are,
and
though.
huh?
They usually are like a 2-part.
Yeah, they usually are. But we are. This is I could really consider this the last little bit before going into
The last
the
adventure.
end. Yeah, well, it feels like that.
Yep. So, okay, we'll talk about the rumors. But let's get out of the episode first. So it's the year 2925, 900 years from now.
Yes.
And the Doctor and Belinda arrive to this stadium of sorts. And it's the Interstellar Song Contest, which is the 900-year-old version of Eurovision.
Exactly. Yes. And it literally is like it's not like a play on it. It literally is the Eurovision contest having evolved and still existed, 1,000
Yep.
years later.
Which for the Doctor and Belinda is good news because they kind
Uh-huh.
of think Earth is still around. Right?
Yeah, they think
If-
they think that if this is alive, then it means that Earth is alive,
Yeah.
And
Yay!
and this is something again that to Belinda, it's something that she grew up with, and that she has an attachment to it. So in other adventures, while she's always been reluctant to stay, this is the first time that she actually is the one that tells the Doctor, no, we're gonna stay here for a little bit.
And the Doctor's like, okay, yeah, okay, you're gonna love it. I love how the Doctor's like, oh, I was there when Ava sang.
Yeah, classic.
So, yeah. And they have Ryan Clark and everything. Immortal Ryan, I think it's.
Yeah, Immortal Rylan, yeah. And that's great because
Rylan.
he is kind of this presenter in the UK, kind of known for being just a force of nature. So I'm very interested to see that they decided to bring him back, or bring him into the show. I mean, we get Graham Norton, which fucking
we'll talk about
awesome.
Exposition dump.
Yeah, but also the show kind of from the get-go starts by dropping us into obviously we're dropped into the situation, but immediately right off the bat, Mrs. Flood, she's there.
That's what I wanted to get.
She's looking at them. This is the first time that we're seeing her directly kind of like not interact, but like be paying attention to what they're doing.
Yeah.
Before she's always been like somebody that's there, yeah.
She's interacting with the situation, which again was interesting, and they kind of ran into each other. I think.
I mean, I think she was waiting for them.
Oh, she was.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think I made that up. I thought I heard a line like, "Oh wait, the doctor's here. Oh, cool. What a coincidence."
And I think she was just kind of more waiting for them to get there, and we get a kind of like thing of like the Vindicator, like she's also waiting for the Vindicator to
Yes.
get powered up.
And it's done. In this episode, they get that done. So that's good for Mrs. Flood, and that's good,
And good
for
for
the doctor.
Belinda.
Yep. So, the contest is about to start. We get one of those feline creatures. I forget their names. Alien, human, cat.
Human
we got
cats
We got a lot of them in early
in early Who,
revival.
yeah. With they're in New Earth.
Yep.
And they're like the nuns.
Yep. So we get one of those. I do not remember her name. So the whole thing with this contest is, however, that it is being attacked by terrorists
Yes.
from the planet Helia.
Helia.
Hell yeah.
And then they are Helion.
So the terrorist kid kind of looked like what's the character's name from Saga? Marco?
Yeah.
With the horns.
They really do.
Yeah. So if you haven't read Saga, read Saga. And they're planning this massive attack on the event. They're planning to attack the people there and the people watching. We'll get to why soon. So the doctor realizes, because of course he's the doctor and he notices these things. He realizes that they sneak into this pod and they're watching like from a suite, and he slowly realizes that what's being transmitted is not the same thing that's happening on the stage. And this is because the terrorists are now transmitting the
dress rehearsal.
The dress rehearsal instead of the actual competition, because people are gonna sing, so no one's gonna notice. And the doctor quickly springs into action and starts opening an air duct or something.
Well, he starts doing something. We then figure out that he's messing with the gravitational kind of like power, I guess, of the station. But yeah, on the Mavity, yes, sorry. But he just starts kind of like working on the tubes and just kind of like, I thought he was gonna try to cut the electricity to everything, but yeah, he's working on everything, and kind of like out of nowhere, the whole air shield kind of pops.
Yeah, the terrorists basically open the dome, and they're in an asteroid, so everyone starts flying into space. It's a quite horrific scene for Doctor Who.
Yes.
And that shot of everyone just like in suspended animation flying, like I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah. And
with the red light, like.
And then you have the Doctor himself getting sucked into space.
Yep. And dude, they did something that I actually loved. We've had situations like this where the companion may think the Doctor is dead or the companion is stranded. And it's always like, oh, how am I gonna get out of this? I love Belinda's reaction. Belinda's reaction is like, I'm fucked. Like, I am not getting out of this.
There's no way that I can get out of this, yeah.
If the Doctor is dead, I can't go home. That's how this works. And I was like, okay, that's a very real world reaction, Belinda. Good for you.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that we've talked about is that Belinda is not your regular, normal companion. You know?
She's
very much an adult.
Yeah, she's like the not troubled kid who got to be a companion. Probably will never see her again. She'll be like, fuck you, I'm leaving.
I'm out.
Once this is over. Hey companions, before we get started, we want to remind you that you can listen to us over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and wherever you get your podcast. Wherever you listen, make sure to follow and subscribe so the podcast episodes will pop up automatically in your feed and you don't have to look for them. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave us a 5-star review, which really helps us get to more people, and that way the show can keep growing. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at batwolf_FNI. You can also keep up with our co-hosts' adventure. You can follow Collectoni52, which is Tony's collection page, and you can follow El Podcast de Star Wars, which is Odie's main Twitter and social media
handle, but also his Spanish language Star Wars podcast. And our co-hosts also have Film Not Included, which is a podcast dedicated to discussing all sorts of films. The links to all these things I just said will be linked down below. Without further ado, let's get right into the Bad Wolf broadcast.
So yeah, so Doctor's in space. Belinda thinks he's dead. Everybody thinks that that everybody out there is dead, and that is kind of essentially our cold open.
Yeah, that's basically how everything. I mean, that's not really the.
No, but it's like, it's like the intro into this
Yeah.
whole episode.
Yeah, pretends to be shocked the Doctor is alive.
Yes, of course.
And the terrorists basically say that their whole plan is to kill everyone watching the
Using
show,
a delta wave.
which means
It's what the Doctor was gonna use in A Parting of Ways, all the way back to Eccleston.
what was he gonna use? I don't
He was
remember.
gonna create a delta wave to destroy all the Daleks.
Oh, and then the Bad Wolf comes in. It's like, no, cool. So okay, they're gonna kill everyone watching. There's 3 trillion people watching.
3 trillion people are watching.
Their whole plan is to kill them all because the main sponsor of the Interstellar Song Contest is this company, which I don't remember its name.
Poppy Honey.
Poppy Honey. That's a product they're selling, or that's the company.
Well, they just call it the corporation. They don't.
Okay. Yeah,
call
they.
it, which I thought was gonna be fucking
Villengard.
Villengard. Yeah.
Yeah. Moffat was like, "I'm not in this season. You can't use Villengard.
Don't use it.
Fuck you." So that's their plan. They want to kill people for supporting
For destroying their planet.
This company that destroyed their planet, because we learned that the corporation basically ransacked their planet, stole all their natural resources to sell honey, and basically turned them into pariahs in the galaxy. Everyone hates them because the marketing sold it like it's basically the Gorman massacre in Doctor
literally.
Who.
No, in many ways.
Because like when the Gorman massacre happens in the Senate, people are like, "Yeah, those Gormans were weird.
Yeah, they
so
were
who
asking
cares?"
for it. No, totally. And obviously there's the idea that because these people look like devils with the horns and everything, there's a perception that other people have of them that just isn't true because nobody ever took the chance to actually get to know them, right?
Yeah. This plot man is Russell T Davies a socialist?
I believe he should be.
I would think that, yeah. Moffat is definitely a fucking commie. So yeah, that's the whole thing. We get one of the most seen at a mile away reveals ever. Ruby. Belinda is hanging out with this couple. One of them is a contestant, Cora, I think is her name.
Yeah, Cora. Cora St. Beaver,
sure. She has like this weird hair and she's constantly defending the Hellions. And I'm like, okay, she's gonna reveal that she has some horns down there.
Yeah, 100%.
Pretends to be shocked.
Yeah.
Tony, in the meantime, the Doctor, you can't stop the Doctor by stranding
just
him
trying
in
to
space.
freeze him to death.
And leaving a confetti gun next to him. So he uses a confetti launcher to get back into the station. Very campy. The show even goes like, camp.
Are you gonna talk about what wakes him up?
Oh shit, I thought that came later, but no, okay.
Well, he gets it later too, but that's the first moment he gets it.
Yeah, holy shit. The Doctor wakes up because Susan, Carol Ann Ford herself, is reaching out to him. Holy shit.
And even says the words grandfather. So, yeah, Susan is back. Susan is giving him visions, and
Russell T Davies is hellbent on bringing back every single person except Billie Piper. So,
except the Bad Wolf.
So yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. I was not expecting it. Just seeing she says find me. Is she still alive? Like, where is she?
I think so.
How does this tie into what's gonna happen? But bro, that, and again, just giving the Doctor more of a reason to want to
Go
go
back
back
to
to
Earth.
Earth. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. And she's like in a TARDIS. Actually, the old TARDIS, I think. Or is
Well,
it this?
it looks very similar. Like the lights look similar to the new TARDIS.
But
So
the new one looks very classical.
yeah,
So we'll see.
well,
Because I
we'll
think
see.
it had. Does the new one have the circles?
The new one has the circles.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many TARDISes. So
Way too
the
many TARDISes.
so the Doctor and we are like, holy shit, Susan's alive.
Mm-hmm.
So more on that later, I guess. I mean, she comes back again, but it's like, hey.
Yeah, I mean, more on that later next episode.
I was surprised that it was Carol Ann Ford though.
Me
Like,
too.
the
Me too.
original actress.
I did not
I
ever
did not.
think that she was coming back.
I did not think she was alive.
I knew she was alive. I just didn't think that.
Because Doctor Who is
Yeah.
that old.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the first companion, so.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
as of 2005 to 2025, she is the last surviving cast member of the first episode of Doctor Who.
So she's been the lone survivor for 20 years. How old is she? She's 80. She's like 80. Holy shit. I think.
Yeah, she was born in. Yeah, she's 84. So anyway,
Never do
moving
math
on.
air. So the Doctor then makes his way back to his spaceship. He hangs out with the gay couple that they took their their seats.
Yeah,
Because that was a funny bit.
I
They were
did like
kind of-
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so basically the Doctor, everything we talked about happens as the Doctor is in the station. He finds out like everything that these people are planning, and the fact that he feels like he failed Belinda because he doesn't know
Because he
she's
thinks
alive,
Belinda's dead. Yeah.
and two, the fact that they're planning to kill 3 trillion people basically makes the Doctor go ape shit.
Yeah, it just sets off a chain reaction within the Doctor of pure hatred and destruction.
And I could only stop. I could not stop thinking about you because we get a progression of the Doctor being extremely pissed off and being
Yeah,
extremely-
it's a true elevation from the first moment that they interact and talk on the little machine to when they're in the same room together, and I was like, "Oh, you're done. You're done."
Yep. So yeah, if you liked him angry in Lucky Day, then you got him. You got more here.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically almost kills this guy. He makes
Basically.
his way to the control room, and he starts zapping him. And yeah, he's like, "I'm gonna zap you 3 trillion times."
Yeah, I'm gonna
Basically, gonna
basically
torture you forever.
you to death.
And while that's happening, Belinda walks in and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And the
She's
Doctor's
like, "Doctor,
"Oh,
you're
I'm
scaring me."
naked. This is embarrassing."
She's like, "You're scaring me."
And yeah, they make up. The Doctor releases this boy, who, by the way, had a point. I mean, I don't think killing 3 trillion people was the solution to anything, but he had a point.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And yeah, so they saved the day. Then the contest goes on. They manage to bring everyone back using light.
Yeah, they essentially
Using
use
light
like
to bring people in. They
to,
managed
to like traction beam them
Yeah,
into the station again, and then they use like the machine that Rylan was being kept cryogenically frozen in to defrost people.
300,000 people, like something like that. So yeah, everybody lives, yay! And then they watch the last song before leaving, which is that young girl.
Coruscant Pavier.
Yeah, she then sings the song in her hometown language, raising awareness on what's going on, so everybody hears. Yay! Congrats. And the terrorist kid is kind of like, "I'll be back." I'm like, okay, good for you. You'll be back.
Yeah,
And
good for you.
that's it.
You'll be
Nothing else
back.
happens.
And then that's it. The episode ends. We get credits, and we're done.
Yep. So the Doctor and Belinda leave. They can finally go back to May 24th, 2025. And
Yes.
they will on May 24th, 2025. Next week.
Well,
But we get them. Oh, but they also learn. I skipped this. They talk to Graham Norton, who is a hologram and a tour guide there, and he mentions Earth. So yay! But suddenly they're like, he's like, Earth was a great planet because on May 24th, 2025, inexplicably, Earth disappeared.
it got it got destroyed. Yeah,
It got destroyed. Yeah, sure,
Yes.
whatever. It blew up.
and that's when they freak
They're like,
the fuck out,
Fuck.
start
running.
running into the TARDIS, turn it
And-
on,
Yeah, they turn it on. They leave. They arrive. Explosion.
and the doors to the TARDIS exploding. That is insane. That is
That
an
hasn't
insane way to end that episode.
It is. Because like, how are they gonna pay that off?
I have no idea.
It was just a dream. Yeah, and the TARDIS is freaking out.
Yeah, no, the TARDIS
Basically,
is
like, we're
freaking
not
out.
supposed to be here.
Yeah, the alarms are going. Everything is going. The TARDIS is definitely understanding that they're not supposed to be there and that something is going on.
Yep. Which leads us to an exciting.
Yes.
So, Tony, okay, now we can go into it.
It happens.
We get an after credit scene, and all our questions with Mrs. Flood get answered. And to my surprise, Tony was right. He had mentioned this theory before. We learn that Mrs. Flood is actually the Ronnie, another Time Lord that we have seen before in Old Who. She was with Colin Baker, was it?
Colin Baker, the Sixth Doctor, and the Seventh Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, she fought against Mel, who was around. She's in Australia, but she's around.
But she's around.
We hopefully we'll get her in the finale. So.
I think so.
Didn't Mel also face Sutak back in the day?
No, that was
Sarah Jane. Okay,
was Sarah
okay,
Jane.
Sure. I always confuse them. So, Tony. Oh, and not only that, not only is she the Ronnie, she bigenerates.
She bigenerates, so we get Mrs. Flood and the Ronnie. And I love that the Ronnie calls her Mrs. Flood.
Yep, she's a Ronnie.
Yeah, she's a Ronnie while I am the Ronnie.
Yep, and they basically swear to bring war against the Doctor, I guess.
Yeah.
Destroy his world.
They're now gonna
Tony.
They're doing it. They're gonna call the Avengers.
Tony, what the absolute fuck? What does this mean?
I have no clue. I mean, obviously, she's another one of the last of the Time Lords. Although she seems to be gathering this group of kind of villains because we know.
You see the unholy trilogy, Trinity thing?
Yeah. And hey, Michelle Gomez was still in the premiere, so who knows? What a trio.
Could you imagine Missy with fighting alongside the Doctor, Belinda, and Ruby? And Kate being like, not this bitch again.
I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen. I just know it's gonna be insane. That's all I know. This is all gonna be insane, dude.
They did not release a trailer for the next episode, right?
I don't think they did.
They usually put one at the end of the episode. I mean, maybe there's one out there. If there's one out there, let us know. But I think there is none.
I think they're waiting because everything of like it's gonna be on TV and all that.
I've only seen like that one shot
of the movies.
I've only seen like this one shot of there's like this skeleton dinosaur walking around London, and we hear Conrad's voice saying something like, "Oh, he's the last of the Time Lords," something like that. But yeah, the Ronnie, the Time Lady, she's here. I'm dying to know why she's here. So I actually have no idea. Do you know what the fate of the Ronnie is like in Old Who?
Well, it's weird because in Old Who, like, the last time that she ever appears is in one of those like TV
Charity,
specials that they
charity,
did, yeah, of children in need.
children in need.
And she just leaves in her TARDIS.
She has a TARDIS.
Yeah, she has her own TARDIS and everything. Yeah.
Oh,
But the last time we see her like in fight, which is like in the Time and the Ronnie, with the Seventh Doctor, I believe it all ends just with her like running away again, as she usually always does. But
so she's just been hiding out elsewhere.
I believe she's been hiding out on Earth.
Where's her TARDIS though?
Yeah, she escapes in her TARDIS. Yeah,
But where is her TARDIS? No idea.
maybe that's why she needs the Vindicator.
I'm looking at the Old Who pictures. Her TARDIS is weird as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like a pyramid.
Well, it's again every iteration of the TARDIS that we've seen that isn't the Doctor's is very
It's different.
unique. Yeah,
And the interiors are very cool. They're like evil the TARDIS. I like it. I hope we get a version of it.
hey, we'll see.
See.
Again, I think that idea of like they need stuff from the Vindicator and stuff could mean that her TARDIS is just locked on Earth.
Yeah,
you know?
I wonder what she wants with the Vindicator. What's her angle here?
And then, she knowing that she's been around since season 1, like, man, she knew Sutek was coming for sure.
She's been around since the holiday special. Since never seen a TARDIS before. Okay. So, Tony, any last minute theories? I think we're getting Ruby in the next one.
I think we're getting Ruby in the next one. I think we're starting to get into the what happened on May the 24th and all that sort of stuff. I really want to know what the Ronnie is planning and what like the ultimate goal is, but I don't know. The best thing that I want is a renewal.
Yeah, I have no idea what to expect, honestly. I just hope it's good. I hope it's better than the last finale, which I thought was a little bit underwhelming. But hey, I'm ready. I'm excited though. Tony, the renewal.
Do you think we're getting renewed?
Yeah, I think so. I also thought Kamala Harris was winning the election, so keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind.
So
I also thought Jodie Whittaker was a good doctor.
I don't think she was a bad doctor.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Is it?
Is it though? All jokes have some truth behind them. I don't know. I think it is. I think regardless of what happens with Disney, I think it's gonna continue on.
Yeah, I mean Disney is weird as fuck, especially Disney Plus. We as Star Wars fans very well know this. So for example, a show like Andor had a massive budget. The viewership wasn't there, and it got renewed.
Mm-hmm.
So that was weird. But a show like Acolyte, which supposedly did have good views, didn't get renewed. So again, Disney is super odd, but this is still a BBC production, so of course the Disney money allows them to do other things.
Do more.
But it's still like their call if they're gonna renew it or not. Disney would make the call whether to renew the distribution contract. So I think the show will get renewed. Worst case scenario, it's just on the BBC, so we'll have to find other ways to watch it.
Hey, that's how I watched most of New Who.
Yep,
Literally like downloading torrents on a weekly basis or waiting for the season to finish and then downloading it as soon as it finished.
Because we got those seasons in Netflix like years after they came out. So
I still remember the day they premiered Capaldi on Netflix was when Jodie was becoming the Doctor.
really,
Yeah. And that
Damn.
was when they were switching already to HBO. So they were like on Netflix, but leaving Netflix, you know?
Damn.
Because then they
So
moved everything to HBO once Jodie was the full Doctor.
yeah, so I think that's the worst case scenario. It's just on the BBC, and who knows, man? Maybe like you can get the BBC on the US.
I mean, you
So-
can get BBC America.
and can you watch it there? I mean, right now you can't because it's on Disney Plus. But
Right. No, like, and it would premiere on BBC America after it would premiere on the BBC. So,
still want to watch it though.
yeah. No. I mean, hey. Again,
So
torrents.
yeah, but we're the reason why we're talking about this is because there was this article by the Mirror supposedly that said the plan was to renew the show for a third season regardless of what Disney does with the distribution agreement. I take everything the Mirror says, put it like in a little ball, and throw it in a trash can. So that's just me. I
That's
don't
healthy.
think they are a reliable news outlet about anything. But hey, maybe they are right, and the show is getting renewed. So, but yeah, we'll see. I know everyone is freaking out online about it, so are we.
So are
So-
we. So are we, to be honest.
Yep. Hopefully, we get some news. Hopefully, I think it would be cool though if the show ends on a cliffhanger and we just don't know what's gonna happen, and they're like, maybe, who knows, or it's renewed for 2028.
Yeah, I mean, again, I am fine with waiting. I just want to know that I'm gonna
I want clarity.
that
Like
my
I want to.
wait won't be in vain. You
I don't
know?
want the show to end and be like, so is it coming back next year? 3 years from now? 20 years from now?
Nor do I want the show to end and them to be actually we're gonna make a Hollywood movie about it to try to bring
Oh my
it back.
fucking God.
And then it'll be the 90s all over again.
And it leads to a spinoff.
You know that was supposed to be like a Hollywood movie.
I know.
That ended up having
That's
to
a
premiere
s-
on TV.
It's a Sony co-production, I think.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, I mean, if they want to do that, sure, whatever. The show will come back 20 years from now then.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back here.
Yeah.
So.
By Russell E. Davis.
His son? No, he doesn't have a son. I don't know. I don't care. I like you, Russell. I do care. So, okay, Tony, we'll leave it there. We'll be back next week to discuss
Wish World.
Wish World, the beginning of the end.
Yep.
And I'm excited. Yay.
Episode that actually falls on May the 24th.
May 24th.
So I am very intrigued. With everything that's happening with this finale and everything, I wouldn't be surprised that they dropped them both.
Like, surprise.
Yeah.
Aren't they doing like this whole activity on the 31st?
Yeah. To watch it online. Yeah.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see.
see.
Tony, let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's do it.
Okay, we'll be back next week, and we hope you guys are back here next week. Follow us at whatever it says down below, and yeah, see you next week. Tony, take us out.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll catch you next week. And with that, Geronimo.